How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to work with APIs in Godot 4. Godot makes this a really easy process. For this, I'm going to be using a simple button interface, and when we click the button, we're going to send an HTTP request and we're going to get a response and change the text of a text node to that response. You can do significantly more things with this. You don't need to use a button if you don't want to, right? You could use an input key or something else. The possibilities are really endless, but this is just a really good beginner introduction to working with an API when you're using Godot. There is also going to be a written tutorial in the description if you prefer written tutorials, and then you can just copy and paste the code examples. Hopping right into things, the first thing we're going to do is make a new control scene. I'm just going to rename it to API test and then save the scene. We're going to need three things here. We're going to need a button child. That button is going to need an HTTP request child. And then we're also going to need a rich text label, but that shouldn't be a child of the button. And then I'm going to use the anchor to just kind of switch up the position of this, make it look a little bit better. Obviously, it doesn't have to look really good, but I want it to be able to show that our project is working. And I'm going to add a little bit of text to this button. I'll just say, click me. Next, we can create a script. Default name should be fine. Inside of our script, the first thing I'm going to do is drag and drop the HTTP request and the rich text label into the editor so that they become onReady variables. And then I'm going to create a new variable called URL. I'm going to copy and paste this URL. You'll see here, basically what this is doing is it's a nice little free API URL that's going to return a random cat fact each time that we run a GET request to it. You totally don't have to use this. If you have something better that you'd like to use, feel free to use whatever you want. This is just a really good, simple, free test one that you're welcome to use. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Now we want to get the button click functionality going, so click on the button on the left side, go to your Node Signals tab, and select the pressed option, and then just connect it to your GDscript. What we can do now is we can go into that new function and we can say http.request and pass the URL. And that's going to be all it really takes to send our request. Now what we have to do is handle the response. So in a similar way, we're going to go to HTTP request on the left, and then we're going to grab the request completed signal and connect that to our GDscript here. And we're going to be using the body parameter. But if you print out body, you'll notice that it's just kind of random text. What we want to get here is the actual string. So we can say get string from UTF-8, and let's print that out. Now we can run our scene to test it. You can do this either by clicking F6 or clicking F5. I'm going to use F5 and select the current scene. Alright, and let's see if I click it again, if it gives me something different. It does. Okay, awesome. So it's totally working. It's exactly what we want it to do, but we need it to be in a different format because this is a JSON string. Fortunately, Godot has a built-in feature for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new variable here called data. And I'm going to set it equal to json.parse, and then I'm just going to pass that string in there. Now, if we try to log this again, we should be getting something a little different. And we are. Awesome. We're getting an object this time. And you'll notice if you look at this pattern, there's an object called data, and then there's an array, and there is a string at position 0. So if we want to get the direct string, we have to say data.data0. And now we're getting the string. Great. So what I'm going to do is set that equal to a new variable. Let's call it catFact. And then I'm going to set the rich text label text to that new catFact. And hopefully it will just be appearing on screen. Awesome. So it's totally working. We now have a dynamic application that we created in Godot thanks to an API. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, let me know. And if you have any questions, also let me know and I'll try to help you out. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.